Hey again, welcome to this poor quality video. Quality as in bad lighting and not set up right, but I think what's more important is the content, and I have something pretty cool to share with you guys. Well, with myself, because I don't think anyone's gonna watch anyways. Not yet, at least. So, what I learned just now was having lunch, and now I'm just waiting for my tea to boil. But I was learning about the art of negotiation. Actually, the book we were referencing is called, oh shoot, I forget the name of the book. I think it's called Never Split the Difference. I think this guy who wrote it was a former FBI agent in charge in the head of negotiating with hostages or those kinds of situations. So I'll give you only 3 points, and we'll take it from there. But the first point that he had was use questions with how and structure it in a way because it's very deferential. Like you kind of put off the blame. He gave a really good example where he was going actually to the head of I forget what school he was going to, one of the head schools, and he wanted to talk to what the head of negotiation in that kind of in that school. So the guy wanted to kind of he wanted to set it up to have like a negotiation kind of thing where he's kind of the person who has the victims and hostage, and the author's job was to get the hostages out of that situation. So obviously the guy at the head of this negotiating school kind of came off a little cocky, and so he wanted to do the negotiation, brought in a whole bunch of people to watch, and he was like, okay, I want $1 million from you tomorrow, or else your hostages we're gonna or else you will never see your hostages again. So after that question, guy was like, how am I gonna get $1 million to you? And boom, like it just kind of got him off guard, and then in that second the power switched over to the other person. So asking how questions can really transfer the will really get you in control. Like for example, he gave another example where there's a mother and her son, and the son wants a new video game, and obviously, of course, he wants her to pay for all of it. So he's going, "Mommy, mommy, I want the video game. Can we get it?" And all the mom said was, "How can I get that?" And he was like, I'll pay for half." So exactly that, exactly how you say it too. And there's a big difference between perceived, because you don't want to be too assertive, but you also want to have strong statements. And so the tonality of your voice, and the what else was it? The tonality and how you get people to perceive you makes a big difference. So, for example, if you're talking to someone like a customer, and and you're trying to sell them on their product or something, and it sounds like they're not willing to go ahead quite yet, you just change the tone completely and be like, "Look, I don't know if you can quite, by judging from what I hear, I don't think you can quite afford us." And boom, that gets them an instant no. Like, no, we can, because that gets their ego up. They're more on guard, and they get to say no, because a lot of times they just need to say no to something because humans are kind of wired that way. So you get the no, but you want to know in that situation. Like, and you want to make sure you tone it in the correct way. Like, look, I'm sorry, but I just don't think you can afford it. Or it sounds to me like you can't afford it. And instantly they want to, because when you're getting them to say no, you're getting them into protection mode. So he's protecting his ego, he's protecting whatever he's got. And when you say yes, it's a commitment. So getting yes, you want a yes at the end, but not in the middle. Or you usually don't want it in the middle. So getting them to say no is very important. When you get them to say no, it lowers their guard completely. And it also, if you get them to say no, that's not enough to close a deal. You want to follow that up with trying to get them to be on the same level as you, by getting them to say that's all right, or that's right. So if you're like, look, I know a lawyer like me doesn't want to, it doesn't seem like he's out for his customers, and I'm just in it for the money, right? And they'll be like, right, kind of like off guard, like, yeah, I agree with you, but it kind of sounds like you're setting up yourself for a no. So then that gets people engaged more. So you want to first get them to say no in a way, like in one of those ways. Then you want to follow that up with that's right, not you're right, because your right's different. Your right is like, that's when you want to tell people to shut up. Like, he was giving a good example of husbands are the ultimate people who get to say that a lot or have good practice, because whenever they want their wives to just kind of stop talking and nagging, they're just like, honey, you're right. And then wives just love it, apparently. So that's what you want to follow up with. What else was there? There was one more, I think. So you wanted to follow up with that's right. And, just stating fears. Like just being aware of fear and pointing them out and labeling it diminishes fear. So if that client has a big fear of you ripping them off, state that fear, and scientifically they've done studies about this, but that automatically lowers their fear. So I won't keep you much longer. The Art of Negotiation, or How to Not Split the Difference, actually. That's how it goes. And really good book. I haven't read it. I'm going to purchase it and read it and everything. So I'll let you guys know when I get it. And that's about it.